Hello, I'm Jason Cohen. The purpose of this video is to share my experience in the Harris County criminal justice system up until this point. I've been involved with them for about a year and a half. And based on like what's been going on recently in the world, Governor, or what's his name, General Milley, undermining Trump, John Kerry selling out the Israelis to the Iranians, all the shit they're not telling you on the media that's going down, that's really, really messed up, or Jen Psaki, period. No, let's not make this super political. But it's hard to divide the two because you have to understand that like our justice system is like 100% tied to politics. Like that's how it all works. It's government. And there's probably like an old thought that if you mind your own business, you'll be fine in America. And the truth is that's not true. There's such a broken, like with all due respect, and I'm not trying to undermine anybody or get anyone fired. Although, I don't even know if these people should be doing what they're doing, truthfully. And I'm saying that objectively, and I will present evidence as to why. There's this thing called evidence, which they generally need for a case. In mine, the only evidence that they have is an accusation from a woman that I was reckless driving. I'm not even getting into that. This purpose of this video is to sort of just point out to the court, because as you will see, it's very hard to communicate with them, like almost impossible. Like many emails go unanswered. The vast majority, if you call in, you can never get someone on the phone. Like out of 300 or 500 calls, you might get it one time on like an off chance that they're in the office or something. Which, when you're trying to participate in your own case, and that's another thing, like I've encountered that this court really favors attorneys, like just working with attorneys they work with on a regular basis, like kind of like it feels almost like a racket, and I'll explain that later. There's just so much, and there shouldn't be, honestly. As we go, that's my opinion. I'm of the opinion that there should not be this. And why am I making this video? I don't know. There's just so much going on in the world right now that it's just not adding up. That's not right. And at the beginning of this, I kind of was like going along with it, whatever, because you can't avoid this. This situation between me and this woman on this road, like I was driving minding my own business, not getting the facts of the case. I got to stay on track here. But that happened May of 2020. It is September of 2021. That's over a year and a half. That's too long for a crime. Reckless driving carries a maximum financial penalty in Texas of $200. I was pulled off an international flight and arrested over a $200 ticket over a situation that is, in my opinion, absolute nonsense, predicated on no evidence, and with obstruction of justice by the officer. This is what I would like to call an abuse of process claim. So abuse of process is a claim that one party can bring in the event that the court system has been used as a tool to injure people. If you're not aware, like court cases are really expensive, both time and money, and they shouldn't be, because you are innocent until proven guilty. So hopefully they're not prosecuting a lot of innocent people. I feel that they are, because Lina Hidalgo is currently currently requesting from the federal government more money to build more criminal courts. Like, that's wrong for two reasons. One, the courts they have now are dealing with, in my opinion, kind of nonsense like this. And two, what is she trying to create, like a Nazi-style police state? There was like an article that came out when she was like elected or whatever. It said she's the first blah 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 blah, accept it or like deal with it, or like something very rude. And I was just like, ooh, that's not good. It's just setting a tone, a negative tone. By dealing with the police in this, when I was arrested on the plane, the tone of everything. This officer, the deceitfulness. So the way I'm going to set up this video is we're going to start with showing you the video that I made, because I've learned based on past experiences, www.claudiabonnyman.com, that I've had with corrupt judges and corrupt police, that if at all possible, if you deal with police or anyone who claims authority, any of those guys that are getting paid by the government, record it, videotape it, timestamp, because here's why the playing field is not level. They have what they believe is indemnity, which is insane. Like, they can't be punished. They have outside abilities to like arrest people and steal freedom. They've been killing people. Like, police have been killing people. The jails have just killed people. Epstein, John McAfee. They're killing people. What happened to Ghislaine Maxwell? What happened to Bill Gates? What happened to John Kerry in Syria? What happened to, not Syria, Iran? That's crazy. What happened with COVID? Like, they're still enforcing the mask like 2 years later, but they haven't given you any explanation as to why or what or who's responsible. That's as I speak here. This shit is crazy. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to jump on anyone's day. I hope everyone has a great life. Truthfully, I hope everyone has a great life. I'm not trying to mess with anybody. But, I mean, the level of propaganda, you know, what the way, like, the current government and, like, whether it's, like, media figures or certain people, they call them Trumpers, or they're calling this Governor Milley, his excuse for colluding or speaking with China, the Chinese general, he should not have been speaking, period. Like, what the nerve of these human beings? They're just human beings like you and me. Where they messed up is in their own heads, where they believe they have the right to do this on behalf of 400 million people. The majority of people voted for Trump in 2016. Not debatable. So when they say like this like crazy, the majority of people really liked him. And let's not forget that. And I don't believe elections, you know, judges, and I don't know this guy, you know, I don't know him. Okay, but I'm saying judges are elected, and elections are weird right now, or they're supposed to be elected, but they're weird right now. No transparency with the cops. My beef is like, you don't know who these people are. They're rolling around your neighborhoods with like heavy duty pistols and ARs and bulletproof vests and attitudes out the feeling they have the right to stop anybody for any reason and predicate cases on no evidence just because their egos are hurt. You can judge for yourself in the video. And my biggest thing, okay, so there's so many things. My biggest thing today, what kind of set off this video, was it's a combination of like all the stuff that happened from COVID. I mean, this happened in May of 2020. We got locked down in March of 2020. Don't you think it's possible that some of the parties involved were a little bit stressed? I don't know, but to claim reckless driving and then put someone through getting taken off a plane, they stole my property. When I was in the jail stole my property. They stole my laptop and my camera for about 8 months. And I think the only reason I got it back is because I started sending motions to the court clerk, this Dolores Phillips lady. No offense to anyone. Dolores, Sedrick, the girl who's the DA who was in law school last year. I'm not trying to have beef with any of y'all. Respect. I know human to human, we're all trying to survive. But this has gotten out of hand, and I'll explain why. It was very inconsiderate what happened. My case has been reset so many freaking times. So it's not bad enough like that this thing is maximum financial penalty, $200. My time is valuable. Everyone's time is valuable, and that's something that should be respected. I think that's a very reasonable thing to say. Respect people's time. Okay? They arrested me once. They should have never arrested me. I'll show you, okay, they should have never arrested me even one time. There was no need. All they did was Big Brother, Nazi, Gestapo, Soviet, KGB style, like go through my wallet, photograph all my accounts. They stole my laptop and camera for 8 months. They didn't release it with me with my things. They're like, oh, we just happened to find it. Happened to find it. I'm gonna show you the evidence for all this. I'm gonna show you the receipts, like when I picked it up, me emailing them. I'm backing up all this. This is just the prelude. So that's why I said this is gonna be long, but I'll try and make it as short as possible. Yeah, they stole my stuff. So, you know, judges are elected, and that's bad that all the judges in Houston are all Democrats now. Like, not say that's bad, but do you really believe in a city like Houston, Texas, it's all one party? Like, we're supposed to be the most diverse city in the country, right? I mean, we're just under this web of propaganda and this overreaching government. Like, during the time of COVID, if I was like a judge or a DA or a police officer, there's no chance I do stuff like this, because you're supposed to be compassionate. You're supposed to be a member of the community, a member of this society. We're always talking about we went to Afghanistan. We didn't go to Afghanistan. You folks went to Afghanistan and paid Raytheon to do it, who gave you some money back. I mean, I don't know. We are the ones carrying the debt, obviously, right? That's what you want us to believe. Only if we accept that fact as a reality. And I don't know. I just think the DA was in law school last year. This is like, it's clearly they're putting her in kind of like the BS case section, like give it all to the rookie. And then, but for her to pursue me, I don't know if that's someone telling her to do it. Like, oh, this guy had a big ego. He's like, blah, 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 talking with the cop. Or she's just overzealous and wants to do it on her own. Either way, it's wrong. And she needs to realize that it's wrong. There are implications. You have a life. I'm not taking you away from your family. I'm not taking you away from your job. You guys are doing that to me. I grew up in this neighborhood, like born on, raised on these streets. I went to high school on the street we were stopped on. I was stopped by people I don't know. Some lady came from out of nowhere into my life. I'd never seen this woman before in my freaking life. My view, some medicated Karen in the house too long, driving weird. I didn't reckless drive anything. I was trying to get away from this lady, which is, I mean, there's so many things. But anyway, if you don't appear for court, that's how they try and get people procedural with this reset. We're back to the resets. If you don't, they do this thing where if they don't want to go to court any particular day, they'll just reset you or like whatever. But they demand that you be there, even if they don't see you. So if you're working, you miss work. If you're supposed to be somewhere, you can't be there. That's not okay. I looked up criminal procedure. I looked up the section for resets and continuances, and that right is not granted to them. Unlimited resets at will or at their leisure. It's very inconsiderate. I was in Europe before this. I have a life there. My girlfriend is there. I spend most of my time there because here kind of sucks. I mean, America's great. I love America. It's a great opportunity. But right now, it's really worrisome to the point that it makes me uncomfortable. Some woman should not be able to just come out of anywhere and point to some guy. This woman is older than me, by the way. On the video I said, this is like a Karen. Why she's picking on me? I don't know. I have some thoughts. I don't care, because it's based on my own life experiences as this person, as a human male, this age and this time. I felt things. Middle-aged, women sometimes are weird on me. Passive aggressive or whatever. I don't freaking know. I don't know. But the point is, there's so many failures in this entire process. I should have not had my stuff stolen. During COVID, the governor of Texas also said, this is another thing. I mean, there's so many things. Abuse of process claim. This one's a big one. Aside from the fact that the lawyers and judges and court clerks can speak freely, but if you try and participate pro se, which is your right, 1,000% equally, they don't speak with you. They don't even answer questions on a professional level so that you can participate. They would do that for a lawyer that came from out of state. They'd have to. I mean, that's just professional respect. The way this woman talks to me, it's you are low class trash, guilty until proven innocent. That's how she talks to me. This woman, Dolores Phillips, is not an elected official. She's the court clerk. Court clerks can be trouble too, because they're the ones that process paperwork. As you can see in ClaudiaBonneman.com, Julie Spencer, in that one. She wanted to try and block me from participating because I didn't pay enough money, a fax filing fee. And, or I owed them money to participate. That's illegal. I don't care if it's explicitly like spelled out in statute now. The Nuremberg trials happened after the Holocaust. I really think people need to retroactively go back and say, this was a crime, this was a crime, this was a crime. And truthfully, and I'm not pointing at anyone, but people that do bad things should, I mean, look, if I'm getting punished for this, if I went to jail for a night, I missed an international flight, had my property stolen, been utterly disrespected just on a personal level. The governor of Texas said during COVID that you are allowed to participate via Zoom, and it's encouraged. It's actually the requirement. I'm going to post that document also. They ignored me. I said, I just want to participate via Zoom. Did you get my motion to dismiss, which I submitted? Just many things when I was participating. I wanted to seek discovery from the district attorney. What do you have? Like, where's your evidence? Was the victim harmed? No. Is there any property damage? No. What are you predicating your case on? What is the there? What is the there? They wouldn't let me speak to the DA. When I showed up, when they demanded, I showed up, and they said the judge can speak to you in the court. He wasn't even there when I showed up that first time. So this happened in May 2020, apparently. My first court appearance was maybe, it was supposed to be January, then February, and then in February, there were some email exchanges that got pushed to April, and then June. I mean, they just kept dragging, and I said, I didn't ask for a reset, I just asked to participate via Zoom. And I don't know if they did that on purpose to try and get me out of the window, where it was the rule. I don't know what they did that for. I don't know why they're ignoring me. You can judge for yourself. These people are ignoring me. These are crimes being, in my opinion, in my view, genuinely speaking, these are crimes being committed against me. Why should you care? It could happen to you just as easily. And I'm putting this up there because if in the future this happens to someone else and they try and dick them around for a long time for something like we'll get into the case. But this has to do with, I came back a second time. I was in Europe. They gave me, after they've already arrested me. This was in January, I got arrested. Then I had court, came in court. The judge wasn't there. He was in, I don't know if he was in some other room or if he was at home because he was on Zoom. And there was just a TV there. I was like, weird, bro. I don't want this version of the future. You guys are trying to force this on us. I showed up. Where are you? And then they didn't really want to speak to me. And like, do you have an attorney? I was like, at this point, I called my friend, Jordan, who's a very good attorney. He's amazing. Very smart guy. I was like, and this is before that. I was like, this was probably sometime, like well before the hearing. And I was like, hey, I might just need a lawyer because they're ignoring me. And I've seen this before. And you have to, in life, you sometimes have to balance, like, is it right that I should need a lawyer and pay money and stuff like that? No, it's not right. But my time is valuable. And I don't want to get caught up with these people because they have nothing better to do. So this is their job. Like, they get paid to do this. And if they don't pull in people, they don't get money because they don't need, like, I would really, after my case, I would like to go through all the cases, like past, like whatever. And there should be like, the court system should be so much more transparent. We should know who the judges are, who the court clerks are. You should be able to find out if these people know certain people or whatever, because they could conspire against you. It's happened to me in real life. Evidence, ClaudiaBonneman.com. She was a judge in Tennessee. She resigned after my case. An appellate judge recused himself. It was a whole mess. So I don't take this stuff lightly. I'm sorry if this came off as impassioned. I'm kind of sick of the goings on in our society nowadays. These people are not, just because they're in a position that deals with laws and they make decisions on certain laws doesn't mean they can make up laws. It doesn't say anywhere that maybe, and here's another thing about statute, and this is just another thing. If statute is flawed, like there used to be slavery, weed used to be illegal. No, but seriously, like if there's a statute that's flawed, it should be discussed. Like justice shouldn't be delayed because life is short. You know what I'm trying to say? And like, My grandparents were Holocaust survivors, and I grew up hearing a lot of crazy stories. And it's weird because it sounds a lot like these stories. The Nazis were the National Socialist Party. National Socialist. They pretend to be socialists, but they're not socialists. They're actually just like kind of power-hungry, mean people a little bit. Who have like God complex. They feel like they can run other people. It's not right. Do I think there should be law enforcement in courts? Yeah, but I don't think they should be played with. I don't think they should be like, let's churn the highest number of low-hanging fruit because we need more courts and more judges and more people on this like social, crazy, bureaucratic system they're building so they can tear down Beller High School. And God, the corruption going on right now is crazy. It's crazy. And I'm not saying these people are necessarily corrupt. They could just be like completely like, just, do I think they're overwhelmed? Then why do they have my case? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no, there's really no excuse for this. It's either they're, with all due respect, either they're inconsiderate or they're corrupt and they're using this as an abusive process. But either way, like, I think it's an abusive process just because even if they claim negligence or this DA, this is her first year and she didn't know, how do they go from law school to being a DA? Don't they have to like practice somewhere somehow to know about like people and like even procedure? Hold that thought.
Hey, what's up? I'm trying to get Wi-Fi. Yes.
I don't have a lot of time, and you're not going to have much to say, but I'm going to pass the phone on to the court coordinator, and you got to listen to her, all right?
Okay.
And don't make a defense on your case. Just listen.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not sure why you didn't appear in person today because you were required to appear. That was the signed agreement saying that you would be here. But you didn't appear the last day. So instead of revoking your bond, the judge is still for today. But you for bond forfeiture, meaning that you did not appear this morning, your bond would be forfeited and the warrant would be issued. So where are you?
Jordan, can you answer for me?
No.
Okay.
You need to tell me.
So the last time I actually showed up, the court coordinator or whoever the lady was, Dolores Phillips, is that you? Okay, so I wanted to speak to the DA, I wanted to speak to the judge, and you guys made me show up in person, and the judge wasn't even in the room. And no one made it clear to me, truthfully. Okay, I just want to finish my statement. No one made it clear to me to be there. In fact, everyone indicated to me that, like even the bailiff said, let your attorney handle it from here on out. I did. I came and I said, Jordan Torrey, for sure, that's why we said it.
You did not have an attorney at that time. He just is here now to sign on to your case.
No, I know, but when I came in that day, yes, ma'am. But listen, okay, go ahead.
You did not have an attorney. You were required to appear because you did not have an attorney. I'm not going to argue with you.
No, I had an attorney last time, and that's why I did, and when I appeared, I said I had an attorney. That's why you guys let me go.
You
Okay.
signed a okay. This
Okay.
is what we're going to do.
Okay.
So you're going to be quiet. You're going to listen to me.
Okay.
Or I'm going to let the judge know that you know to appear and let him decide if you want to revoke your bond.
I mean, it's been reset so many times against.
I'm asking you where you're at.
I'm in Europe actually right now. This is where most of my life
How
is.
long are you going to be in Europe?
I don't know because I can't come back if I'm going to get arrested again. This would be a second time for a case that I feel like I'm absolutely innocent and I feel like I'm being abused in. Yeah.
You're not going to have a warrant. Please do not appoint the defense until the judge calls on you. Thank you. Counsel, yes, look around. I'm not going to do it. Thank you. Done? Let him know.
Hello?
Do not stand in line. Not opposed to defense. Just have a seat. That's why you have a list going.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to let you know.
Okay.
Your schedule shows your case is here recess for September 14th. You need to be court with your attorney on September the 14th.
Okay.
In person, okay? You don't have a warrant right now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to let you know.
Okay.
Your schedule, your case is here recess for September the 14th. You need to be in court with your attorney on September the 14th.
Okay.
In person, okay? You don't have a warrant right now.
Okay.
If you don't come to court on the 14th of September, you will come.
Okay.
All right? Thank you. You can talk to your attorney now.
You know me one on this one. I gotta go though.
We'll talk later.
What I experienced during this case makes me feel uncomfortable in my home, in my environment, where I live. I view my experience in this case as being like utterly disrespected, my rights, my civil rights, and my human rights being totally disregarded. I have evidence here, which I will present. There will be haters. In fact, I think there's like Reddit colonies of haters that like they just post shit, and it's just like people that just hate on shit. Like they know if you post it in this forum, you get a lot of negative shit on your thing. Because I felt like I got like 4,000 views. Sorry, I don't know who these guys are. I like this song, that was pretty good. All right. But yeah, I like to get the blood flowing, you know, like before I have to like speak or whatever. And I think a lot of people would be healthier, you know, if they just spoke their mind, you know, when they needed to. Like, it has to. It's like almost like if you can go back in time and like just improve the lives of people around you by just doing what's best for you. For me right now, like, I think these people have gone on long enough being like totally inconsiderate and disregarding any of my rights, any of my claims. Like, I'm from that area. Who's protecting me when someone comes, like maybe like people that like to do insurance claims, you know, like insurance fraud, or people travel to wealthy neighborhoods to rob people? It happens. Another thing about dishonesty, like Houston crime maps, you go to Bel Air, it says no crimes in that area, or like certain, and I'm like, there were crimes in that area. They have it on their YouTube of people like breaking in and stuff. So it shows that they're like reporting. City of Bel Air Police Department is kind of inconsistent which was on LexisNexis crime maps. I don't know if they have to disclose it or whatever, but then that LexisNexis crime maps is kind of incomplete and not accurate. I mean, there's a lot of crime going on in Houston, really, really heavy duty crime, like robbery at gunpoint, lots of it. And that's like, I mean, I got over like trying to like rationalize my point of it, but they just, yeah, they did a lot of bad things. And I don't know if it's intentional, and that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not blaming them necessarily like outright, like, you know, this was intentional. It might not have been, but then it was like super like kind of inept and disorganized. You know, most people, when they make an appointment and threaten your freedom, which is what they did to me on multiple occasions, they actually didn't even threaten. They took my freedom. They took a day from me. I was getting on an international flight. They didn't compensate me for that. I've been injured. They had no right to pull me off of that. The flight was like, I don't know, a lot. Like many multiples of the $200, which is the maximum financial penalty. So I just ask that you approach this like totally unbiased. However you want to see it, whatever this is, because to call it a case is kind of like a sham. I view it as like, as I've said before, like I would like to subpoena this woman's medical records because I think a lot of people are riding around in these streets hopped up on God knows what. And that's why like our Congress is so like weird and divided and cold and like whatever. You're gonna tell me like Jen Psaki is sober? You can be that like mean sober? You think Joe Biden is that animated sober? I mean, what the, like, his son is like a freaking, you know, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying that these imperfect people, see, I'm not judging, right? And I'm not perfect, but these people aren't perfect either. And when you don't have like a lot of transparency and a lot of disclosure for the police officers, I don't know. I'm gonna go with you about this Ballard, this guy. Okay, so here we are. I don't know who these police officers are. And I think it's important that like, you know, we start asking these questions. I think when elections happen, they should be much more transparent. We should be able to see, like, I don't know. I think it should be publicly disclosed. Like, you know, I guess voting should be private if you want to keep it political. But at this point, like, I don't know. There's got to be like voter ID for sure. You have like, yes, you need an ID to vote. You need an ID to be a citizen to pay taxes. Now we can debate that whole system. But as it stands right now, there were generations and generations of people in the United States that paid taxes, worked really, really hard, weren't in government, like couldn't have indemnity. If they failed, they failed. And they sacrificed a lot of time, energy to build what this country is. And, you know, with hundreds of thousands of migrants, I think everyone would have a good life. Don't bother me. But I'm the one stopped. Like, in this time, like this, for this sort of case to happen, I want to know who the people are. Who are the people driving around our neighborhood? Every police officer. Okay, let's not even get into voting or whatever, but every police officer, there should be like their background check posted. Like, who are these people? Where are they from? Like, where are they? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if they're gonna walk around with guns and judge you, there should be some sort of implied respect. Like, you know this person, or like you know of this person, or like, because people can collude. You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta be careful. Anyway, I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna comment as I see fit. Then we'll get to Dolores' call. That really kind of made me upset because like I was in Europe and again, they threatened to arrest me at an airport. And I'm just like, I have actively tried exhaustively, way more than $200 worth. If I were in fact an attorney working on this case, I would have absolutely billed more for this. And I said in an early email that I just wanted to pay a ticket. I didn't even get a ticket. I was not given a ticket. I was just arrested. I was told that I was going to be arrested. More so, the cop came, and I want you to pay attention to this. The police officer, Ballard, this is very crucial. And, you know, I'm speaking to people that may get some education from this. It may like kind of like help them navigate, because honestly, the system is skewed. Like, it's a group of people that work in this 24/7 for years with indemnity, so they don't always execute perfectly, because if they make a mistake, it's like, it's on you, citizen. No, we gotta stop. I mean, that's wrong. You know, doesn't it feel wrong? Anyway, let's just get into it. Ready? Yes, officer, how can I help
What's
you?
going on? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Good. What happened today?
I'm driving the left lane. This girl's driving in the right lane.
Okay.
She keeps honking at me.
Okay.
I rolled down and I'm like, why is she honking?
Actually, you know what? You need to hang on a second. Hang on 1 second. I'll get your story, okay?
Exchange of words a little bit, but he said, hang on, I'll get your story. Clearly he didn't hear anything. Like, he literally just pulled me over. And keep in mind, I was just involved in some sort of weird incident with some lady who was trying to hit me with her car. Okay? She has her side. She said, well, I'll play the tape for you. My position, and this is what I feel happened, was, I don't know. Hear the story. I don't know this lady. I was minding my own I was on the phone with my sister. I was talking to my sister. Like, literally driving up Rice, like I always do. This woman is not from here. She was from like Fondren, maybe. I did a background check. Like, this is so wrong in the sense that I pretend that it's a possibility that I was pulled into something as the victim. Let's go with that. Okay? Because just as much it could be her story, it could be my story. I asked the officer to go pick up evidence. Generally in a case, like I learned this through ClaudiaBonnyman.com in Nashville, when they tried to extort me. They called it hometowning or something, or homesteading or some weird thing. They predicated a civil case on like nothing. Like, you know, and there's abuse of process, which can be applied, malicious prosecution, fraud, I don't know, fraud via the courts, because they end up all being friends and they were trying to get money for me for damages they didn't have for a nothing there. You're welcome to go ClaudiaBonnyman.com. I have nothing to hide. Yeah, so the whole situation. Let's get into the video. I'm sorry, there's a lot, all right? So I just want to keep in mind, he didn't get my story. Okay.